Moved by Councillor Rolla, seconded by Councillor Hudson. Resolved that the regular meeting commence at the hour of 7 p.m. And be it further resolved that Council acknowledges that we are meeting in the Robinson Superior Treaty Area on lands that have been traditionally used by several Indigenous nations. But we would like to pay special recognition to our closest Indigenous neighbours, the communities of Bittergon, Nishinabek, and Pic-Mobert First Nations. We wish to recognize the long history of the First Nations and Métis people in our region specifically and show respect to them today. All in favour? Okay. I'll call the meeting to order, and we have some additions.
2 additions to the agenda. Addition to closed session, agenda item 1502, section 239(2)B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, staff matters. Addition to business, agenda item 1204, administration report, PW 2022-07, submitted by Darren McKenzie, Director of Public Works and Facilities, regarding a site trailer for the municipal landfill site.
Thank you. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, we'll move the approval of the agenda. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Moffat. Resolved that the agenda be approved as amended. All in favour? There are no delegations or presentations. Oh yes, there is. I'm sorry, there is one there. Okay. It's always an honor to recognize the accomplishments of our many employees. And on behalf of Council, I am pleased to acknowledge Chris Towns for achieving the 15-year service award with the Township of Manitowoc. Chris, throughout your lengthy career with the Township, you've worked in a number of departments and held a variety of positions. You worked your way through the corporation to the position of Treasurer and are a valued member of the senior management team and within the Acting Chief Administration Officer program. I would like to congratulate you on this significant accomplishment and please accept this award and gift of appreciation for your years of service and contributions to the Township of Manitowoc.
Smile.
Congratulations.
Move to the adoption of the minutes. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Rolla. Resolved that the minutes of the regular council meeting held August 10th, 2022 are adopted as circulated. All in favour? Thank you. There are no petitions, and there's one item in correspondence. Do we need to bring it down? You'd like to bring it down? Okay. Moved by Councillor Arola, seconded by Councillor Hudson. Resolved that correspondence item 08-01 be received, and be further resolved that agenda item number 0801 be returned to Council under business for the meeting of September 7th, 2022. All in favour? Next item is a verbal update, and I would like to take this opportunity to have our CAO give an update on the AMO presentation.
Great, thank you through you, Mr. Chair. We traveled to Ottawa the week of August 14th, so the Mayor, Councillor Hudson, and I, for the AMO conference, and we had 3 delegations that were approved with the Minister of Northern Development, Minister of Energy, and the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks. The delegations went very well. With the Minister of Northern Development, we talked about the Recreation Centre upgrades and the $3.1 million that is required to complete the renovations that we have identified, including the roof replacement of the arena and the recreation center, as well as a new front entrance that's accessible, and accessible washrooms on the main floor, along with a new HVAC system in the arena. These renovations will assist us in extending the life of the recreation facility. It's in need of much needed repair, as you know. The minister was very supportive of our delegation and is willing to consider a three-way split between the municipality, the federal government, and the province. So staff are working on getting those applications tidied up and sent in, and we do expect that that project would be approved next spring with construction to take place next year. So we were very pleased with the outcome of that delegation and look forward to continuing our relationship with Minister Rickford on that project. The next delegation was with the Minister of Energy, and we talked about the Lakeshore Natural Gas project that we're in partnership with the town of Marathon, the townships of Scarborough, Terrace Bay, and Wawa. And an election campaign promise made by the PC government earlier this year was to provide a third intake for the natural gas expansion program, which would provide our project the seed funding in order to get started. So the minister was very receptive to our delegation. We had the mayor of Marathon, Mayor Dumas, and their CAO, Daryl Skwarczynski, join us in that delegation. And they committed to working with us on what the next intake will look like in terms of the eligibility for the natural gas expansion program. So that's another project that we're really looking forward to continuing to move forward with. And then our third delegation was with the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks, and it was regarding infrastructure upgrades in and around the Suncor property in Adjala and Nebig. And we've been working with the Minister of Environment for the past 10 years with regard to the Suncor fuel spill and the cleanup in that area. The infrastructure upgrades for water and wastewater would cost considerably more because of the remediation efforts that we have to put in place when working around the contaminated soil and the fuel spill, and which puts the project at a disadvantage for the township simply because it increases our costs. And when we get funding opportunities come our way for water and wastewater projects, our window to plan and prepare an application is between 4 and 6 weeks. So we really have to have all of our information readily available. We can't be going back and forth between ministries asking for information. And that's what happened with our last application to the Infrastructure Community Fund. And we ended up having to switch courses very quickly in the middle of the grant writing process and move to infrastructure upgrades on Manitou, simply because the Ministry of the Environment was not able to move quick enough for us to be able to meet the deadline for the grant application. So out of that meeting came a commitment from the Ministry of Environment to work with Suncor to assist us in being ready for infrastructure upgrade projects. And so we met with the Ministry of Environment and Suncor yesterday, and they committed to funding for us a risk management plan, which will assist us with having those projects on the shelf. So when the next round of funding comes along, we are easily and readily able to put a grant application in. And then any additional costs that go above and beyond what we would normally pay in terms of remediation of the site and preparing for any fuel contamination that might be found during the digs, we would be going after Suncor to fund those additional costs through our indemnity agreement with Suncor. So we have a plan in place. We have a commitment from Suncor to do this on our behalf, and we will now hold them accountable and make sure that comes to fruition. They did indicate that it would be 5 or 6 weeks before they could provide us with a plan, and we'll continue to meet with them to make sure that we get that. So the delegations were very positive, some good results coming out of that, and we're able to move forward with our projects.
Is that it?
That's it.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillor Hudson. Whereas by virtue of the Franco-Ontario Day Act, which was legislated on April 26, 2010, it is declared that September 25th of each year be recognized as Franco-Ontarian Day throughout the province of Ontario. And whereas September 25th is the anniversary of the first raising of the Anglo-Ontario flag, it represents over 400 years of French presence in Ontario. And whereas there are more than 745,000 Francophones in Ontario, the largest Francophone community outside of Quebec. And whereas Franco-Ontario Day has become an annual occasion to celebrate the Francophone community, now therefore, I, Mayor John McEachern, on behalf of the Township of Manitowoc's Council, do hereby proclaim September 25th of each year as Franco-Ontario Day and join the Francophone community of Manitowoc in celebrating its exceptional contribution to Ontario's growth and prosperity. All in favor? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Roll. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administration Report, FD Monthly Report 2022-07, submitted by Don Kruger, Fire Chief, regarding the Fire Department Monthly Report. Your answer.
Thank you. Through the Chair. Just a quick verbal update to my report. Throughout the summer, I've been updating you on the compressor system. That's our SCBA fill station and compressor. The unit was delivered about 2 weeks ago, and I just received word late last week that it will be or should be installed either Monday or Tuesday of next week. So I'm just still trying to firm up the date because I have to make sure we have an electrician on site when that happens. So I'm still waiting for the actual day, but looks like hopefully next week that'll be done. Other than that, I'm happy to answer any questions by members of council.
Through the Chair, your Fire Hall Fridays, they were a big success?
Oh, yes. Thank you for asking. So for the first month or month and a half or so, I was averaging about 12 to 15 visitors each Friday. And the last Friday there, so last Friday, I had, I believe it was 32 or 36 visitors. I can't remember now. It was a big hit with kids.
Okay.
We had lots of kids coming by with a parent or parents. I was actually able to give out a couple of applications for the fire department as well to several members of the community, so hopefully they return them. But yes, I would say for kind of a spontaneous thing that I just started, early in the summer, I would say it was a big success, yes.
That's wonderful to hear. Thank you.
And I fully intend to do it again next summer as well.
Great.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Good job. And furthermore, that Council received the Fire Chief's monthly report as presented. All in favor? Thank you. And thank you for the resolution. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Moffat. Resolved that the Council is in receipt of Administration Report PW 2022-06, submitted by Darren McKenzie, Director of Public Works and Facilities, regarding local area services, sewer and waste and water line program update. Melanie.
Through the Chair, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for allowing me to present this report virtually. It's a little different from my standpoint because it's the first time I've ever done a report this way. In front of you is a report on the local area services, or LAS, which is provided through Association of Municipalities Ontario program to allow for warranty service for water and sewer lateral repairs. It's a program that a previous Township Council approved back in 2016. Basically, it allows for an outside agency to allow warranty services on these repair works, and all that the municipality does is facilitate educational aspects to make the program available to these the residents. They actually deal with the contract administrators directly, and there's no work really done by the township other than promoting the service. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Through the chair. Yes, Darren, can you hear me?
Yes.
Jim Offit here. So that sounds to me like it's like an insurance policy that every homeowner can purchase. Am I hearing that correct? That will pay for any water breaks on their property?
Through the chair, that is correct. It is for the private services for both the water and the sewer laterals. It covers up to $5,000 on the water and $8,000 on the sewer lateral on the private servicing side. But that's per call. So if you have a second or third call within a year, even a fourth call, you get an additional for water $5,000 each time those calls would come out.
Okay, so that means an individual gets a water break on his property, then he can either call his own contractor, or could he also contact the town and go through the town's user fees and pay the difference?
Through the chair, actually, if they have signed up through this program, the contractor is actually provided through the program itself. They would look after everything for who the contractor would be. They already have that information that they would supply the contractor to do the work.
Okay, now would the contractor give them a quote, or would the contractor have to accept the fee of $5,000 or less?
Actually, through the chair, if they signed up through the system and paid the monthly fees, it's through that program, so it's whoever LAS has provided to do the work, and then it's up to the $5,000 for water or $8,000 for sewer that's covered under the program. Anything above and beyond that would be out of pocket.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Any further questions on that? Okay. And further, the council directs staff to further engage with service line warranties of Canada to promote this service to the residents of Manitowais. All in favor? Thank you. You're still on, so moved by Councillor Rolla, seconded by Councillor Moffat. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administration Report PW 2022-7, submitted by Darren McKenzie, Director of Public Works and Facilities, regarding site trailer for the municipal landfill site. You're on again, sir.
Thank you. Through you, Chair. Before you is a report, legislative and requirement. For the work at our landfill site, we actually do not have any services available to the operators out there for water or washroom facilities, which requires them then, if they need to use facilities, they would have to come back into town or basically use the surroundings to relieve themselves. Under both the federal and provincial health and safety acts, the workers are legislated to have availability to a washroom facility. So this report is just providing that the request to get pre-budget approval to obtain a facility to put on the landfill site. And once we have actually install our transfer station, we'd be able to move that trailer over and utilize it there as well.
Thank you.
So if there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Through the chair, so what, like, is it a trailer that you're going to rent, purchase? What exactly is it that you're looking at?
It's actually, calling it a trailer is just a better part. It's more of a sea container that's been modified to have, it's like one of the ATCO trailers, but it's a sea container that has a space in there for table stored water so they can do a first aid station with the water that we provide, and have a washroom facility out there as well. It is for purchase price at $30,500 plus HST and shipping. But then that unit is ours to utilize where the workers are required to be.
Any further questions?
Through the chair. Is that unit portable with the town's equipment to move it from one site to another if needed? And also, if there's washroom facilities, is it a burnable thing or is it something that needs to be pumped out? Just curiosity.
Through the chair. It is a small sea container, 8 feet wide by 20 feet long. So we could make it portable to the point of having a skid underneath it to be able to transport it with forks onto a flatbed or any other vehicle that would be able to transport it. As for the toilet facility, it is a burnable one. It's an electric Cinderella toilet that would be able to burn up the waste and then dispose of the ash accordingly.
Further questions? No. And further, that council approves the purchase of a site trailer for the municipal landfill site at a cost of $30,500 plus HST and shipping. All in favor? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McKenzie.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillor Roller. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administration Report CS 2022-06 submitted by Katie Law, Director of Community and Economic Development, regarding the Community Improvement Program application review. Best Friends Bakery.
Good evening. Through you, Mr. Chair. So in front of you is a report and an application from Edney and Leanna Cabral from Best Friends Bakery. It is our second application for the Community Improvement Plan. It outlines what they're looking for. They're looking for some facade improvement to replace their siding and some lighting on their outdoor, the sign as you come into their parking lot, that one. They'd like to illuminate it. So the committee met and we discussed the program, and it is our recommendation that council approves their application for the Downtown Facade Improvement Grant as well as the Downtown Improved Sign Grant. Any questions?
No, I went through it. Looks good.
Okay. And further, the council approves Leanna and Edney Cabral's application to the Community Improvement Program for the Downtown Facade Improvement Grant and Downtown Improvement Sign Grant for Best Friends Bakery. All in favor? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Moffat. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administration Report TR 2022-06 submitted by Chris Towns, Treasurer, regarding the Notice of Motion Resolution number 20-22-179.
Thank you. Through the chair. At the regular meeting of Council on June 22nd, Councillor Hudson brought forward a notice of motion requesting that administration prepares a report to Council on costs and impacts, providing seniors with a discount of 10 to 15% on miscellaneous administrative user fees, and the replacement of water and sewer, replacement or repair of water and sewer service lines on private property. I've provided you the report and recommendations. If there are any further questions, I'd gladly answer them.
Through the chair, not really a question, but as far as like having it cheaper for the seniors and everybody else for the water and sewer lines, this program that was just mentioned earlier would more than cover that.
Yes.
So that's one thing eliminated from that. And other than that, I have no problems with your recommendation.
Through the chair, I'm okay with deferring it till the 2023 user fee review. And I agree with Councillor Moffat on this program. I think that's a good subsidy there as well.
Thank you.
Okay. The council directs staff to review all user fees and update according to the reflective of actual costs and present the 2023 user fees to council for approval in December 2022 for implementation on January 1st, 2023. And further, that council defer consideration of offering further discounts to seniors until the proposed 2023 user fees have been reviewed for further review and consideration. All in favor?
Thank you.
Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Rolla. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administration Report ADM 2022-33 submitted by Jolene Keogh, Clerk, Planning Administrator, regarding lame duck periods during the 2022 municipal election.
Thank you, through Mr. Chair. Back in April, I brought forward a report to Council to let you be aware of certain periods that Council would be under restrictions. This report is a follow-up to that report to let Council know that you are in a lame duck position. So therefore, bylaw 2022-23 does come into force. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to.
Standard procedure.
Yeah.
Okay. And further, that Council received Administration Report ADM 2022-33 for information purposes. All in favor? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillor Hudson. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administration Report ADM 2022-34 submitted by Jolene Keogh, Clerk, Planning Administrator, regarding Compliance Audit Committee 2022 municipal elections.
Thank you, through Mr. Chair. This report is regarding the Compliance Audit Committee that we're required to have under the Municipal Elections Act. Council is required to appoint a committee. In previous years, the committee's been composed of the clerks from the townships of Stryker and Terrace Bay and the town of Marathon and Manitouwadge. In previous years, I'm not aware of any compliance having been done. So how that would look is anybody can bring forward a request to have a candidate's financial statements reviewed, and that would go to the Compliance Audit Committee.
Any questions? That's standard again, standard procedure. And further, the Council appoints a clerk to the Joint Compliance Audit Committee with the townships of Schreiber, Terrace Bay, and the town of Marathon. And further, the Council passes a bylaw to appoint a Compliance Audit Committee for the 2022-2026 municipal election. All in favor? Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Rolla, being a bylaw to appoint a Compliance Audit Committee to the 2022.
Mr. Chair, we have agenda item 1209, correspondence on the...
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, we can do that one first, yeah. Okay. And do I have a bylaw, the resolution?
Not yet, potentially, depending on the...
Okay. You're on, sir.
Okay. To the chair. Okay, I'm just looking at that Integrity Commissioner report. I was kind of shocked to see that out of 36 communities, we ended up being about 12% of their work, which to me is a lot. And this is also to let the taxpayers know that there is a lot of money going to the Integrity Commissioners because of complaints, and by all rights, if there's legitimate complaints going forward, fine. But as the reports have came by, there has not been any wrongdoings of any kind. So to me, this is just not something that I like to see. But
It's to let the municipality know that we are paying every time somebody puts a complaint in. If it's a legitimate complaint, that's fine.
that's correct. That's what I want to say.
I agree.
Yeah. So
And through the chair, that there were no findings of wrongdoing.
No.
that's correct.
That's important for the people to hear.
Yeah. And anybody else want to elaborate on that?
Oh. No, thank you. Thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's it? We don't need to...
Is there anything we want to?
If there was, if council wanted to pass a resolution, you may request a staff report.
Oh, correct. Yes. Sorry, that slipped my mind. Yeah, that would be something for sure. Is it possible to get a report from staff on exactly how much we've spent
Yes.
to the Integrity Commissioner over the past
This past
this term or
This
the
term.
last two terms, ever since the Integrity Commissioner, since we started with the Integrity Commissioner? I don't think it goes back all that far,
Well,
does it?
it would probably be better if we did it during our term.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
the beginning of our
specifically the
term.
last 4
Yeah,
years, yes.
the last 4 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Resolution on council's approval could read, council directs staff to bring back a report outlining the history of complaint costs, reports, and investigations for Integrity Commissioner services for the Township of Manitowoc at the next meeting of council.
Perfect.
Okay, and just, and also there's, I guess for an example of how detailed these investigations are when there is a complaint, back on our February 9th or February 7th meeting, I can't remember the exact date, but there was an example of when the Integrity Commissioner did a full report to us. So that just shows how in-depth that any little
Yeah.
complaint
And,
is.
and you will let us know how much money it cost us.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks.
That was a good one. Thank you. Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillors Campanello. Resolved that council direct staff to bring back a report outlining the history of the complaints, cost, reports, and investigations for Integrity Commissioner services for the Township of Manitowoc at the next meeting of council. All in favor? Okay. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Rolla, being a bylaw to accept the Compliance Audit Committee for the 2022 to 2026 municipal election be read a first and second time. And furthermore, be read a third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2022-36. All in favor? Okay. Moved by Councillor Rolla, seconded by Councillor Moffat, whereas Section 239-4 of the Municipal Act 2001 SO 2001 C25 provides that before holding a meeting or part of a meeting that is to be closed to the public, the municipality or local board or committee of either of them shall state by resolution the fact of holding of the closed meeting and the general nature of the matter to be considered at the closed meeting. Now therefore be it resolved that this meeting is hereby closed to the public as the subject matter being discussed falls under the following sections. Section 1, 239-2C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, land disposition. Number 2, Section 239-2B, personnel matters about identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, staff matters. All in favor? Thank you.